Welcome to Dropping In, a podcast of storytelling and interviews with your host, Winter Olympian Mercedes Nickel.
Thanks so much for dropping in today. This is Series 6, where we are talking to athletes that have been on the road. I spent about 20 years living out of a suitcase. I have a lot of fun stories to share. And I've reached out to some athletes, Olympians, to find out what it was like on their journeys. Thank you so much for dropping in on episode 54. Let me introduce episode's 54 guests that we will be dropping in with. This Ontario native grew up in a ski family. Her parents wouldn't let her snowboard until she was 8 years old. Seeing the 1998 Winter Olympics in Nagano, the first Winter Games to actually have snowboarding in them, this girl had set her sights at a young age to compete at the Winter Olympics. I've had the pleasure of being on the World Cup tour with this gal for many years. She's overcome injury and serious concussion to fulfill her dream of competing at the Winter Olympic Games in 2018. This daughter, friend, snowboarder, Olympian likes to get her hands dirty. Let me introduce Calynn Irwin. Hi, Kales.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Good.
Just in the workshop getting my hands dirty still.
Awesome. On dropping in, we start with 10 rapid fire questions so the listeners and viewers can get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready to drop in?
Shoot.
Number 1, what is the one thing you traveled with that was a must-have for your sport?
Oh, I was gonna say my blankie, but I don't need that for my sport. Definitely my snowboard. Gonna go with that one.
It's funny because I thought of your blankie right away, and then I kept reading the question. I was like, no, she doesn't need that.
No, I need it. I need it for sleep.
Yeah. Number 2, who is the most high-profile contact that you currently have in your cell phone?
In my cell phone. Oh gosh. Maybe it's you.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Although I may have Mark McMorris's number from New Zealand when he needed to send me a picture of me being an idiot. I don't know if it's his number anymore.
I like it. That's awesome. Number 3, what is your top song or playlist right now?
My top playlist go-to every time. I just love the Discover Weekly. Knows Me Too Well.
On Spotify. Yeah.
On Spotify.
I started watching Euphoria, and then I started listening to that soundtrack.
Okay. Yeah.
That's about where I'm at right now. Number 4, if you could go back to being at an Olympics, would you choose winter or summer?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to say Summer Olympics just because I've experienced Winter Olympics. And since being retired, I'm actually okay with not being cold.
I think that's totally fair. Okay, number 5, if you were invisible, what's the first thing that you would do?
Oh my gosh. If I was invisible, I don't know, probably go to the Humane Society and sneak in to visit all the dogs multiple times so they don't go like, hey, weren't you here yesterday? But if I was invisible, they don't know that I'm there, so I can go as many times as I want.
You are a dog lover. Favorite dog?
Golden Retriever.
I know, but the listeners and the watchers, they don't know. Number 6, big city or small town?
Small town.
Small town gal. You're from Toronto, though.
I know. I'm a little slow paced though.
Okay.
I like visiting big cities, but definitely.
And now you're living in Vancouver.
This is also true. I don't know.
But you like to get away.
I'm all sorts of mixed up.
No, you're not. Number 7, what would you say the biggest risk that you've taken is?
Um, dropping into the half pipe.
Mellow 22-foot walls.
Yeah, I feel like that's a risk every time. Actually, probably jumping out of an airplane from 15,000 feet.
I wasn't there when you did that. When was that?
Oh, that was in New Zealand. We got offered by like New Zealand tourism to do any activity. And we chose skydiving. And I actually called my mom and I was like, so I'm doing this. Now's your chance to talk me out. And she goes, have fun. Just call me afterwards. Because she knows me so well that if she had been like, don't do it, I would have been like, guys, I can't go. My mom told me I can't.
She
But
just gave you carte blanche. Go, do it. I love that. I love
yeah,
your mom. I love your parents. They're the best.
they are.
Number 8, after retirement, has your view on the Olympics changed at all?
Yeah, I mean, I like obviously mixed feelings about the Olympics, but just just because I feel like sometimes it turns so political. But I think it's like a really cool thing. That like just brings you together. There's nothing like competing for your own country. So I've always loved the Olympics. I think I will always love the Olympics. Do I wish I could still go to the Olympics? Yes. But I don't know. There's definitely like a few other things. You can see the heartbreaks and stuff like that.
For sure, for sure. Number 9, what is the best way to travel?
Light.
Oh! I thought you were gonna say, like, private jet or something.
No, travel light, and then you can travel however you want, wherever you want.
That is so true. I took just a backpack, internal in Mexico, and it felt so good not having a board bag because we always have so much luggage when we're traveling.
Absolutely.
Last one, number 10, not an easy one. Top 3 places that you have traveled to.
Top 3 places. That is definitely not an easy one. I'm gonna cut out. I have been some places not snowboarding, so I'm gonna cut those places out and just focus on the places I've been snowboarding.
Okay.
So one place, Saas-Fee, one of my top
Yeah.
places to go snowboarding. Such a cute little town, so much fun, always a blast. Next place is Des Alpes in France.
Mhm.
I did a solo trip there.
Did you?
So
When did you do that?
I did. Leading up to 2018 Olympics. Actually, Elena
Oh.
was there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we hung out a bunch and Louis was there. So
Elena Height and Louis Vito, for those
yeah.
that don't know.
So it was like it was my first trip without anyone from the team, really.
You missed me. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Yes.
You're like, "Get away from
Um,
me, Mercedes." For the
uh,
listeners, just to get an idea, we've spent a lot of time together and most of the time in the same hotel room and after years and years. So, we know each other pretty well. It's okay to have time apart.
yes, it is definitely.
And the 3rd place?
Third place. Yeah, I mean, I want to say. Okay, I'm gonna say I have 2 places for the 3rd place. One is Whistler,
Oh.
just because I love going to Whistler and, go Canada, go.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need to put a spot that's not in Canada, so I'm gonna say Wanaka, New Zealand.
I do love New Zealand. Actually, we have really good okay, thank you for doing the rapid fire, and I'm gonna throw to an image for those that are listening. It's an image of Calynn and our teammate Derek, um, in New Zealand at this place called Puzzling World. On our down days, we spent a lot of time there.
So much time Puzzling World.
I miss New Zealand. That is one of my most favorite places to go as well.
Actually, I don't think weird to say, but I don't think I'll ever go back again during the winter. We've
Oh,
gone
you would only go summer.
11. I feel like I've been there like 11 or 12 times.
Yeah.
Every single summer. And every time I'm like, would be absolutely beautiful in their summertime.
Totally.
So yeah.
Totally. Okay, thank you for doing the rapid fire. Is there any trip, like, because we went on the road a lot, is there any one singular trip that stands out to you? I mean, there's so many to choose from.
um, I mean, yeah, there's so many trips that we've had, and I liked at the end, like we definitely started to tack on more adventures
Mhm.
later, because I don't know if you're the same way, but I was like, I'm going so many places and all I do is the airport, half
Yeah.
pipe, airport, half pipe, airport, half pipe. So
But that's
I,
kind of the way the schedule broke it down. So for the listeners that don't know, when we used to have a lot of World Cups in our schedule, almost like what felt like a competition every weekend. So we were flying to Europe and then we would just go, like, there was no time to actually explore that city or that country because we were off to the next one and off to the next. And then now in the last couple of years there's only been what, like 4 World Cups a year, if that. So we would definitely put in some
yeah.
time.
Yeah, no, and like just at the top of my mind, I think it was like definitely flying by the seat of our pants trip.
Yeah.
Um, Probably one of the funnest, but also I think one of the, as a team, frustrating trips we embarked
Uh-oh.
on,
Uh-oh.
because we were in Granada, Spain,
Mhm.
and I remember you went out the night before, like 2 nights before, and then none of us went, and then we all decided to go out the night before. And so you're like, you better not, like, you better be ready in the morning because we had a ferry to catch um,
Yes.
to
To go
Africa.
to Morocco.
Yeah. And we had a long drive ahead of us, like 4 or 5 hours. And, you know, we all made it down, but there's you, me, Derek, and Trevor all fitting in
Yeah.
this Fiat with all of our stuff.
It was pretty cramped. Like, this is the crew. This is the
Yeah.
crew, in Korea, in Pyeongchang, and the 4 of us. I mean, we're talking Trevor's probably what, like, over 6 feet tall, Derek's
Yeah.
pretty tall, into a Fiat with massive snowboard
All
bags
of
and
our
duffel
board
bags.
bags, everything. And I just remember, um, I just remember we said, let's meet in the parking lot at this time. It was probably 8 a.m. And like we were down there and we were waiting, like don't know where
For
Trevor is.
me?
No, we
Oh.
don't know where Trevor is. And then we go upstairs and Trevor's just sitting on the front steps of the hotel waiting for us. And he's like, oh, there you guys are. And we're like,
Oh
oh.
my goodness. Oh
So,
my
but then
god.
we hit the road, and I think you were driving. None of our navigation
Was
worked.
working.
And then we passed this sign and you're like, should I take it? I was like, I don't think so. And you're like, but it says Malaga. And I was like, I just don't think so. But I don't know, because we don't, none of it, nothing's working. So like, go with your gut feeling. And you're like, I'm taking it. And you went, and it turned us around. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. And the next the next like turn off to turn back around wasn't for like
I
30
remember
minutes.
that now. I
So we missed
remember
our
that now.
ferry.
We
But
didn't
we
did we miss our ferry?
missed our ferry. We we ended up spending the afternoon on that kite surfing beach, which was amazing.
But
Um,
Trevor and I ended up at a bar.
Probably. I think Eric and I weren't drinking maybe at the time, but then
Yeah,
maybe
we had,
later in
like,
the
I
day
remember we
I
had
was like
goblets
drinking.
of
Um, but yeah, and Katie was already in Morocco.
Yeah, our other teammate,
Uh,
Katie Suzuki, was over there and had planned, like, a whole trip for
all
us over
day.
there.
But we did make it. We got on a ferry 4 hours later. She was there to pick us up. We like ripped through the city,
And
got
we
on some
rode
camels
camels.
just in time for sunset.
I'm telling you, I think the snowboard team has, like, the most fun. We really make it work.
Yeah, and then we had dinner at some place that they claimed. I don't know if this is true or not, but they claimed this is where 007 was
Oh,
filmed.
yeah. Yeah.
We had a great dinner, and then we hopped back on the ferry and went back to Spain.
Are we saying hopped back on? We almost missed the last ferry. It was
Yes.
super dark, and then I remember getting a little bit seasick or maybe, like, starting to get hungover. It was like something else. That was our half a day or not even half a day in
Yeah,
Morocco.
and then the next day we continued on to Lisbon in Portugal.
Yeah, we really went for it. I just for the people that are watching this video, I just want you to get an idea of all of the luggage that we travel with. These like ginormous board bags. There's sometimes we have bigger duffel bags, but we have a lot of gear. And if you're thinking of fitting it into a Fiat, with all four of us, it's tricky. I tell you, we have tie downs, we have things to make it work.
I'll
We
just
had a lot.
say that we got very good at Tetris.
Yeah, really good at Tetris. Um, so I had Anastasia on, and she was with speed skating. She was on the 50th episode, and she talked about, Settlers of Catan, and my jaw dropped, and I was like, "Excuse me? We played Settlers of Catan nonstop." Throwback to an old photo of Derek Livingston. Who's that? That you're in the
Craig
bed.
Craig, I
Oh, Hot
I don't
Craig.
know. Hot Craig. Yeah,
Hot
we'll
Craig
call him
in
Hot.
the background
I can't
playing
even pronounce his last name. Goels. Anyways,
playing
Hot Craig.
playing, Settlers of Catan in one of our hotel rooms. That was a go-to, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And I think the most Settlers games we played in one day was 3, and
That's
afterwards we were like, we can never do that again. Two's the limit, one's like the sweet spot.
Oh, man, so funny. I remember, this is a photo of, I was getting the sunset when we were in Finland, and
Oh yeah.
Calynn, if you're listening, Calynn has a full iPad out taking the photo there with Alex Duckworth getting the selfies.
I didn't have a phone all season.
I really liked Finland, obviously. I got one of my tattoos is
Yeah,
from Finland. I made everyone come with
I was
me to get
there.
this little reindeer.
Yeah. I remember that was actually a hard period. Well, that was leading into 2014, which is
Yeah.
a whole other story of my life. But that I didn't have a phone that entire season.
What happened to your phone?
Well, I got a new phone that fall, and it ended up being a lemon. And
Oh,
like the 2 days into our Finland trip, it stopped working. So I had this
perfect.
iPad, and funny enough, I was like, "Oh, this is my iPad 10." Like, it was like because iPhones were just starting to get bigger and bigger, and I was like, "By 10, it's gonna be this big. You watch." They pretty much are.
2014, baby. Oh, man. Where else did we go? We spent a lot of time, in Colorado. This is a shot from New Zealand. I
Yeah,
remember this. I drove you guys, and I think I may have hit a possum.
I would have blocked that out of my memory.
Oh. Or swerved, or there were possum all over the road and they were already dead. I don't know. But New Zealand was definitely a really good time for all of us, I would say.
Oh yeah, big time.
Other than the waking up at like 5 in the morning. No, maybe like 4 in the morning to get up there.
Yeah, we were up there by like 4:30 or 5 in the morning, and then training would end at 9:30 or
Yeah,
10.
I remember turning to Gretchen Blyler and being like us both being like, "This is not snowboarding." I mean, the
Yeah.
moon's still out, but that is what it is. Any other, like, great memories that you have? Where do you think this, shot is
Oh my
from?
God, that's in Finland. No, that's in Russia.
Is
Wait,
that Russia?
that's Russia.
That's Sochi, the Sochi,
Yeah, the
us
Sochi half pipe.
standing at the bottom of the half pipe.
I actually that I got so nervous before that contest. I had to run into the woods and I to puke.
No.
Yeah. I
Really?
it's the one and only time I was just like couldn't handle it.
Oh, Kales, I didn't know that. It's so funny, like, you're just so focused on your
Yeah,
own game at the time. I didn't know that you went and puked in the woods.
puke and rally, puke and
Ah,
rally.
puke and rally, that's how we do it. That's how snowboarders do it. Oh my goodness. We've spent, a lot of time in Colorado as well.
Yeah.
And my friends, it is very cold in Colorado in November. But your parents would always come down and lead it like kind of how many I'm trying to think how many years we stayed with your parents.
Oh gosh, years and years, I think. The
I
limit
think
does not exist.
they got
Uh,
sick of us, I think.
no, they loved it. I just remember we'd take turns like making dinner, and
Mhm.
that was great. Like playing euchre, and I don't know what other card games we played. Um,
I remember Brad Martin's infamous salmon. He would always make a salmon.
I would have eaten out that night.
True. He always had, like, these go-to meals, which is cool, and I don't know if, like, other teams all cook together or whatever, but, being a Canadian athlete isn't always the easiest, so if we all chipped in, it made it work for us, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah Conrad's spaghetti squash, pesto, and sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah.
Hello. I still make
Hello.
I still make that today.
That's awesome. Oh, Kales. Anywhere else that we can think of? I mean, off the top of my head, Sasfe was so fun. We kind of ended up going there in the end of our careers. I started there, and then it was nice to have you guys be able to see it there as well. We didn't really get into too much trouble there, I would say.
No, not too much. Um, yeah.
Like
Uh,
this photo. Where was that?
oh yeah, that was in Spain.
That
Sierra
was in
Nevada.
Spain. That
Yep.
was, we were done snowboarding and decided definitely it was time for a big beer for all of us.
Yes, absolutely. Um, I think one cool time on the road that I had was with Derek and Trevor. We were in
Mhm.
Japan for a World Cup,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
decided that we were going to rent an RV and go chase POW.
I was
Um,
there.
you're there?
I was there for the World Cup. I stayed 2 extra
Oh
days.
yeah,
We
yeah.
did karaoke in
Yes.
this crazy
Um,
place.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
cousin was there.
Yes. And we got we got this number or address from this ramen place. He was like, "Oh, you guys need to go here. It's like on floor 18 of this apartment building." And we were like, "What the heck?" And we tried to go one time. It was closed. Well,
Yeah.
it just looks like an apartment building.
It
So
was
the
an
next
apartment
day
building.
we tried to go again, and we knock on this door, and someone opens it, and we're like, we were told to ask for mama. And so we go, and we're like, is mama here? And they're like, oh yeah, come on in. And it's just like maybe maybe like 15 15 feet by 20,
Mhm.
like room with a bar, and just like a couple TVs set up for karaoke. And
It's so funny.
it was truly like a locals karaoke place.
Yeah.
And then the mama was like, I'm gonna call my niece, because I don't think this is the place that you guys should be spending your whole night at. It's a little sleepy. So she got her niece out of bed,
Oh my gosh.
at like 10:30 or 11 to come down and take us around Sapporo.
And
Because,
I left. I was, like, not drinking, and I was like, "What is happening here?"
yeah. And then we got taken around Sapporo. It was great. But that trip was wild because we didn't know at the time that we needed an international driver's license to rent a car.
Minor
And
details.
so me and my cousin, Derek, and I don't know where Derek and Trevor were, but me and my cousin,
Yeah.
we hit the road, like hit the bars, trying to find someone with an international driver's license that was cool enough to hang, like that would like be okay to spend a week with that we just
Yeah.
met. So we find this Australian dude.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's like 2 in the morning, and we're like, so great, you'll meet us at 9 a.m. to go to go pick up this RV. And he's like, yeah, no worries. And we're like, okay, sweet. Just put all of our trust in this one guy we met at 2 in the morning at like an Irish bar in Sapporo.
And then how did that pan out for you?
Well, he came, met us at 9 a.m. We rented the RV. He was a pretty cool dude, but it was just hilarious. We were just like had this chauffeur that just like took a week off work to come drive us around Japan and like find snow.
I love it. Oh my goodness. What happens in Japan? The most random things.
Well, apparently doesn't stay in Japan.
It will not stay in Japan. It's not Vegas.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. Kales, we've had a lot of fun on the road. So many more stories to tell. I'm just going to have you back on. Where can everyone find you online to see what you're up to these days?
Find me online on my Instagram at Kale Ventures. You can find me there. I just dabbled into TikTok the other night because all these Olympians are like, oh, you can follow my journey, but only on TikTok. And I was like, well, I got to do TikTok, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know. We'll see.
What's your handle on TikTok? Have you done any dance videos yet?
No, but
yet is the key word.
Yet is the key word. No dance videos. It's the same as my Instagram at Kale Ventures. I thought I'd keep it consistent across the board.
Pretty smart.
And keep it easy. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kales, for dropping in.
Oh, thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Bye.
Thanks so much for dropping in today. You can find everything you want to know about Dropping In with Mercedes at droppinginwithmercedes.com. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks DJ Kenosis for the music and my mom for the intro voice.